Hey guys, what's up? Oh! Oh!
Put that at the end of the video.
Yeah. Oh, pop that one back up. Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
Solid.
Alright. Reorganize this. There we are. Maybe I should make the couch forward so it's
Maybe you should, I should just wear it.
What? It's gotta be a background pic. There we are. Okay. We'll stay over.
Cut. Restart the video. That's it.
Alright. Hey guys, what's up? Lumpy Ice Cream here.
I'm here too.
Joel's here too. Been a while since we've had a video on the channel, but we're coming back strong. Probably not. We'll probably be gone for another few months after this. We are here with as the title suggests, we're ranking all of the MCU movies from worst to best. Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to have you say your number 23.
I say my number 23
and then
first.
I'll say my number 23. Just kind of give a few base reasons as to why it's there. And then once our list will sort of sync up a bit, so when we start talking about the same movies is when we'll sort of go into more detailed discussion about the movies. But why don't you kick things off? Get right into it.
Alright, number 23. This will probably come to no surprise to you, Ryan. Incredible Hulk. I don't like this one.
I don't like this one. Just simple.
The pacing is all over the place for this movie. It starts off like really slow, and then really quick, and then really slow again, and really quick, really slow. It doesn't decide what it wants to do straight away. And Edward Norton sucks. Sucks. Don't.
I'm popping it back up there. Oh, you can't see what's giving the middle finger.
Edward Norton, just no good pick. Abomination is a villain. Standard Marvel villain, nothing really happening. Movie sucks! Ringy. That's
Jesus Christ, okay.
really...
That was... Yeah. Alright.
I can't think of much else because it's a bland movie.
Well, at the bottom of my list, again, no surprise to you, I'm sure. Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3. I feel like this takes everything that's fun about the first two, and yeah, I'm a fan of Iron Man 2. Spoiler alert. So speaking of spoiler alert, we will be going in-depth spoilers about all these movies. So if you haven't seen...
If you haven't seen Incredible Hulk yet, you're fucked.
If you haven't seen the movies we're talking about, then sorry. Mainly Far From Home. We will be talking about Far From Home. So that's the most recent one. If you haven't seen Endgame yet, then whatever. What's wrong with you? Huh?
What's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, what's wrong with you if you haven't seen Endgame yet?
Well, you might be poor. You might
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. One of the people at work hasn't seen it yet.
Do they watch your videos?
I don't even think they know I have videos.
They do now.
Hi, Caitlin. Yeah, so Iron Man 3, I think it takes everything that was great about the first Iron Man movies and just... The rabbits. Rabbit! Anyway, rabbits making noise. It takes everything good about those ones and just is awful. It just shits on it. The reveal of the Mandarin is trash. People defend it and...
The generic white guy is real Mandarin.
No, it's not. No, he's not.
He's the real Mandarin.
Not anymore.
Even though he isn't, because it got retconned.
Yeah, not anymore. Like, it's just... For that to happen... There's some good things in there, like Tony Stark and his sort of PTSD sort of thing, like... But... I don't know, it's poorly conceived. Alright, so what's your number 22?
Number 22. Now, this movie is very highly regarded and Black Panther.
That low? Okay.
That low. Nothing good about this movie. Maybe apart from Andy Serkis, but he gets killed, so... I'm going to get called a racist, because the only good thing about... I'm saying the only good thing about this movie is a white guy.
I mean, he's playing a South African character? I guess?
But I just... Everyone... Oh, I guess... what's her face? How can I forget her name?
Okoye? Shuri?
Shuri. She's okay.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone's kind of bland. Especially, like, T'Challa. Who's supposed to be, He's so cool in Civil War. And then in Black Panther, he just does nothing. I never freeze. Nothing. Nothing happens.
Yes. So, yep. That's fair.
Black Panther.
Alright. Oh, hold on. First of all, because I've got duplicate messages. Because I sent the message to myself because I don't have a notepad on my thing. I could probably edit this out if I choose to, but am I going to? No. Alright. Also, we'll be having a little discussion about the Phase 4 lineup at the end of it. I'll probably put that in the title so you know, but 6 minutes into the video I thought I'd tell you about it. Next up for me is Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that doesn't
A jumbled mess. What a mess of a film this is. The pacing is fucking terrible. Because it is just this constant, fast-paced nonsense. By the time they've dealt with one thing, they're on to the two next things. And there's no room to breathe.
They're juggling too much.
They don't... There's some good team dynamic. Hawkeye gets a lot to do in this. Hawkeye's fucking fantastic. Unfortunately, they took... So the first Avengers, the stars of the show are Cap, Thor, and Tony. Easily. So that left Hulk with not a lot to do. Hulk was sort of more of a MacGuffin than anything in that movie. Black Widow and Hawkeye basically, nothing. They get... Well, Black Widow gets a decent amount of screen time, I think. But with not much to do. So, Hawkeye gets a lot to do in Age of Ultron. They try to supplement that. But, at the same time, they sort of ran out of time. They were obviously setting up for Civil War, so they had some tension building between Tony and Steve. They had Thor going off on his Infinity Quest, dipping in pools and shit. And so, Hulk and Black Widow were left over, and they sort of went, well, fuck it, we'll just have their development tied together. Not to mention Ultron is probably the most poorly conceived Marvel villain that we've seen. In terms of how great,
I'm gonna bite my tongue on that.
In terms of how great how good they could have been, and how good they were in the comics compared to how that translated in film, poorly conceived. Yeah. There's some fun action sequences in the movie, but that's about it. What's your 21?
21? Iron Man 3.
There we are. Alright, we'll discuss
I get it a bit higher above Black Panther and the Hulk. Because it's Iron Man. And that's probably the only reason why.
Because it's Iron Man.
Because Robert Downey Jr.?
No, here's the thing. Go. Continue.
I don't enjoy Incredible Hulk at all. It's such a boring, bland film. Nothing really happens besides Hulk gallivanting around town for 40 minutes and then turning into the Hulk being angry in a factory.
It's not 40 minutes.
I am over...
You're exaggerating.
Exaggerating, but basically spends his whole life in a factory and decides he wants to go off somewhere else. But Iron Man 3, some scenes are enjoyable to watch. But then, the build-up to... The build-up to the Mandarin...
Fuck the build-up. Like what? What scenes are good?
I can't even...
You required the effort to take all your hands out of your pockets just to go...
But, like, it's good until you get to the whole Mandarin,
I'd
which
argue
does
that.
sour the experience.
I'd argue that.
Admittedly, you would.
I would argue against that.
Yeah.
The movie is very bland and boring up until the only parts I were enjoying were the Mandarin parts.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are really fucking good, and then like
it ruins it.
It ruins it. Like, it's like when they announced that, oh, the Mandarin's going to be a terrorist, I'm like, that makes sense. I think it'd be a bit weird to do magic in the Iron Man movies, at least. Save that for Avengers, like magic space stuff, however they want to do Mandarin, which we'll get onto later. But I don't know, because Ben Kingsley is such a great fucking actor. And they wasted him. I was alright with the terrorist thing. I'm like, that makes sense. But they just wasted it. He had such intrigue. And they swap him out for Guy Pearce, who is this
generic white
man.
Generic Marvel villain.
Yeah. Generic. I can't even say generic Marvel villain, because other villains have more going on.
He's basically Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, he isn't. How so? He's nothing like Electro.
He's lame.
It doesn't matter.
He's lame.
I can't even say he's lame. Ronan's lame.
Yeah.
Malekith, to an extent, is lame. He is just black. There is nothing about him.
White guy.
He's shit.
He's just white guy.
White guy.
Hey,
he's
look,
this disabled guy who then has become able-bodied and handsome.
I have this thing here. Here you go. Look at this thing that I want you to look at. Now we're good. Oh. I'm going to become evil now.
It's just fucking bad. The thing that pisses me off at the end is when Tony gets the surgery.
For no reason.
Like, did he not think that this thing existed when the thing was poisoning him back in Iron Man 2? Like, couldn't he not have got this done? Also,
he didn't have the money.
The worst after-credit scene ever. The worst post-credit scene.
What's the post-credit scene?
It's just him talking to Bruce Banner.
Oh, yeah.
And Bruce Banner is falling asleep, just like the audience.
Yeah.
It's fucking trash. It's the final battle is just a bunch of just Iron Man suits flying around, and then he blows it up, and it's like, oh, he's not Iron Man anymore. But then it comes around, and yeah, he's just Iron Man again. Which they address in Civil War, but, like, it's just trash. It's so bad. Anyway, so that was your number 21?
Yes.
Yep. Alright, my 21 is Black Panther.
Yep.
Up on those because Age of Ultron is just such a mess with a really bad villain. And Iron Man 3 also has a really bad villain. Killmonger was at least decent. I feel he's been... Here's the thing, is that he has been elevated to something that I don't think he should be on. Like, everyone is saying he is the best Marvel villain, and I'm like, no. Like, I feel the movie has him do some outright evil shit, because, like, halfway through they just sort of went, oh, fuck, he's too relatable. Quick, have him do some real evil shit, just to point out he's the villain. Like, I mean, not to be, like, negative, but he beat T'Challa. Fair and square. Didn't kill him, but he beat him. Like, I mean, he is the king. I mean, Claw, as you said, is really good. But the CGI fight at the end, there is no
Matrix
fucking reason why in 2018...
The suits are CGI'd.
Yeah.
The entire suit, and it kind of takes it away.
I think there's a physical costume, but they CG'd a lot of shit in this movie. There is no reason why the CG in 2018 needs to be that bad. You look at Thanos, and you look at everything that's been done CG-wise in newer movies. And you look at
it's just like they couldn't
these
be
two
dudes
dudes fighting in a cave. And it's
the Matrix.
It is Matrix level CG. Like, in retrospect, going back and looking at Ultron from Age of Ultron, the CG there isn't particularly good. Especially when looking at Ultron next to an actual physical human who's there, the CG is not good. But this is 3 years later. This is in the same year they did Infinity War. And the CG is horrendous.
Blew all the budget on it.
No, well, it would have been 2 separate movies with 2 separate budgets.
Yeah.
I forget what the budget was for Black Panther, but it was pretty big. Yeah, T'Challa is just uninteresting, and as you said, he's one of the best things about Civil War. Coming out of Civil War, I'm like, I can't fucking wait to see this. And they just turn him into a really bland, boring character whose journey, he doesn't really go through much of a journey in the movie, but they disguise it to seem like a journey. What else? Shuri is good. All of the relationship that the characters share is good.
It's just so like mind-numbingly.
It is a boring movie.
By the end of it,
the chase sequence earlier is pretty good with the car scene. That's cool, but yeah, by the end it just becomes really uninteresting and boring. All right, what's your number 20?
Thor: The Dark World. Ooh. This movie. You like it?
Yeah.
First time I watched it, I didn't enjoy it much, but I didn't remember much about it. Came back, rewatched it, and I remembered why I didn't remember much of it, because nothing really interesting happens besides Thor's mums. Thor mums die! No, Thor's mother dies. And Loki pulls a sneaky on Thor and decides he wants to become Odin. But that's really...
He has just ripped that completely off the back of the DVD case.
What I've
Thor mums die, Loki...
What I have done is summed up the plot. Yeah. Malekith like, hey, I'm here. Oh no, I want Space Goop. And Thor like, no, you cannot have Space Goop. And he's like, but I want Space Goop. And Thor's like, no, you killed my mum. And he's like, and my brother. He's like, your brother's not really dead. And like, fuck you, I'll kill you. You don't get Space Goop. I give it to Benicio del Toro. And then
Thor didn't really give it to
Loki's like, hey, I'm alive. But I'm Odin. That's the movie.
Right. You would have had to think Loki had given that order, right? To give the Space Goop to the Collector?
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
You gave it to him because he knew he couldn't put up much of a fight?
When did Thor Dark World come out?
2014. 2013, sorry.
Before Age of Ultron?
2013, yeah.
So we wouldn't have any knowledge of the Space Stones. What? Infinity Stone.
No, they say it's an Infinity Stone in...
But would Thor have knowledge of
Thor wouldn't have knowledge, no.
Because it would have said,
Loki
put a sneaky on Odin and been like...
Loki would have had to.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I guess he told it...
Maybe he
told
didn't.
It... But,
well, no, if Volstagg... Here's the thing, though. Volstagg and Sith know what Infinity Stones are. How does Thor not know?
I don't know, he's dope. That's Thor.
Yeah, but he's the Prince of Asgard.
Oh,
well.
They're Skrulls! I don't know.
They're Skrulls. Alright. My next one, and this is, apart from Black Panther, this one's probably one of the first controversial ones on the list. Spider-Man Far From Home. What a letdown. After Endgame. So, everyone's raving on about this movie, and I know it might seem I'm doing it to be controversial, but I genuinely dislike this movie. So, what I have an issue with is Endgame is still the emotional capping point of this franchise. And I think will remain to be. They can build up all these new characters and have another similar Endgame-like thing in however many years. And that'll be fine. But Endgame was just...
It sealed
everything off.
Everything.
So when this movie starts off making a joke about the events of Endgame and Infinity War, it just leaves me a little bit soured on it. Like, this huge tragic disaster happened where half of the fucking universe disappeared and then reappeared, and there's still consequences that are happening after this, and it's played off for laughs. I'm like, are you joking? Tony Stark, like, half the time tries to tell you, half the time it's telling you Tony Stark was this great hero who sacrificed his life. Half the time, well, the first 5 minutes are laughing about it, and then half the time the movie spends showing off how much of an asshole Tony Stark was to everyone, and he has essentially created this group of supervillains that are now trying to take over the world because they were mistreated by Tony Stark. It's not a good look for Tony. Like, he's just made this heroic sacrifice, and then it's like, yeah, but look at how much of an actual dick he was. We'll get more into it when we get to it on your list, but what's your next one?
Next one, 19, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, same. So we can discuss this one.
I enjoyed this after watching it. Like,
it was also to be said we have only seen Captain Marvel and Far From Home once each. Mm-hmm. You haven't watched Captain Marvel again?
No.
So these two could very well change on a second viewing, but
I actually did enjoy it watching it. Like, it was an enjoyable film.
I agree.
It was just rather drawn out.
Yeah.
Like, the plot was very simple and small, but it was just...
It was basically
like, we need to make a movie out of this little tiny plot.
It was basically the first Thor movie, but stretched out to, I want to say, 2 and a bit hours. I don't know the runtime of Captain Marvel, but...
It was a bit bigger.
No, yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, firstly, Ronan showing up and doing nothing again.
Yeah.
They had a chance to remedy
he was in it.
what might be the most boring and dull MCU villain. They had a chance to remedy it.
Still not saying anything.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
My issues with this, and look, I'm all for equality and shit, but I mean, well, firstly, they had all the subtlety. I can't come up with an analogy. But this movie here, anyway, I don't know about anywhere else. The movie released here on International Women's Day. So, haha, nod nod, wink wink. Aren't we woke? But also, they switched Marvel to being a woman, which I felt was a bit weird, because this is my problem when doing any sort of gender or ethnic swapping. Imagine it the other way around. If they had taken a woman character and made it a male, fucking there'd be outrage everywhere. And I know some people defend it by going, oh, but there's already an underrepresentation of blacks or minorities and all of this in film anyway. And I'm like, well, then they can just make a new superhero. They don't need to take... This is why I...
Look what they did with Miles Morales.
Miles Morales and all of that, and just people like that in general. Instead of making a new superhero, they just put a minority in that one's place. Like Captain Marvel, you know, in the comics was a guy. Like, you know, Marvel. And then there was Miss Marvel... I think we're a couple. I don't know much about it, but obviously in newer comics she's become Captain Marvel. But like, I'm glad that the movie didn't do too much in regards to that. They just obviously, yes, sexism needs to be addressed. She was a person in the 80s, but the thing that got me the most was the final battle, if you could call it. And Yon-Rog's there saying, no powers, none of that, just you and me, we're going to fight. And then she just blasts him and goes, I have nothing to prove to you. Almost winking to the fucking audience, like, get it? He's a man. It's funny. But, like, I felt that, like, they just used this male character as a sort of conduit to all of the previous males that had been, you know, a bit of a dick to her. Yeah. Shall we say?
Yeah.
I just felt it was unnecessary and unneeded and sort of relegated Yon-Rogg to a really just shitty role. Like, you know, he was nothing more than just the thing to put here. Also, they blow the reveal that these guys are evil super early. Like, they have Yon-Rogg and all of that talking to Ronan.
Oh, yeah.
Before the reveal comes in.
Yeah. And anyone with a brain could figure
Anyone who's not like, oh, that's Ronan, he's a bad guy, so these guys are bad guys. It's like, come on. The scroll twist was done nicely, I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
they brought it, like, because scrolls are just, like, evil.
Yeah.
No one really cares about them. But now you get a bit more understanding and sympathy.
Yeah.
They're more interesting than being generic villains that guys can beat up.
Yeah.
Which is what they are.
Yeah. But, like, I just felt like that line of, I have nothing to prove to you, makes her character and her arc very woman-based, very sex-based. Whereas I'd probably be more concerned with the fact that this guy's been lying to you for years, has abducted you from your home planet, killed your mentor, basically, and is this evil shithead. But, you know, that's my priority, but also the fact that I don't think Brie Larson is that good of an actress.
She's a good person in general, apparently.
I won't get into that, but we're looking at the movies here. But I just didn't think... I mean, she was okay. And then Samuel Jackson getting his eye clawed out by a fucking...
funny joke!
Cat, which they turned into just a joke. Which I was not I wish they didn't address it. If I'm being honest. I wish that we had got that first thing, you know, where they sort of do the fake out. They should have kept that. And just be like, you know, haha.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But no, it definitely... It's just down here simply because I like everything above it more. It certainly wasn't bad. Seeing the Tesseract show up was a bit like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, how to get there?
But also, so they at some point between the 40s and the 70s, they would have had to have got it from the bottom of the ocean. He would have been, Howard Stark would have been experimenting on it. S.H.I.E.L.D. And then at some point it got shifted off to Marvel or whatever name she was going under when she was on Earth. And then put up into space or some shit. It was weird.
Who would have done it though?
But then it takes... Like what? They're only just experimenting on it in Avengers. Right?
Yeah.
They're only just experimenting with it in Avengers.
Yeah. Because it's played off to be like it's just found.
Yeah, because they're talking about Hydra weapons. They're talking about like making Hydra weapons and all of that with it. Why have they not already done that if that's been in their possession for however many fucking years? That's the problem with showing it that early. But anyway, I mean, Endgame goes and shows it even earlier, so I think that's it for 19, was it?
Marvel, yeah, 19.
Yep. What's your next one?
Thor.
18. The first one?
Thor, yep.
Okay.
Yep. I like this movie better than the second one. A bit more happens, not much. I think this movie, the problem is, it's the first Thor movie. You're expecting something really big. He's, you know, Prince of Asgard. It's cool. Another planet. But he spends about 20 minutes on Asgard being a dick to the Frost Giants. And then Odin's like, you're a dick. Get to Earth.
I live for your plot summaries.
Get to Earth for the rest of the film. And he's just chilling in one town in Mexico for the rest of the film.
It's New Mexico.
Yeah, but it's in one little town. The whole
little town is New Mexico, is it not?
I don't think it's the entirety of New Mexico. But it's a place in New Mexico. But it's just very small scale. You start off as like...
New Mexico, cool. Is that like not even anywhere near Mexico?
Fuck if I know.
I can't remember. I don't know geography.
I don't know America in general, but... Yeah, but...
It's insulting when old Mexico's over
like,
there.
it starts off so cool with all this shit going on. Thor's just like being a dick to everyone. He's a dick. And then he's just chilling on Earth forever and like he's like, I don't like my brother, he's a cunt. I'm gonna send the Iron Giant after him, and then Thor decides to get his powers back and then beats up the Iron Giant and wins. And then breaks the bridge, which doesn't...
Breaks
the fucking Bifrost. And, there's no consequences to it at all.
Kind of is consequences.
Yeah, but then it just gets rebuilt.
Yeah, but like...
Like, nothing happens.
It kind of does. They just don't explain it as best they can.
Nothing really gets, like...
I mean, he is locked off from the other realm.
Kind of a shruggy sort of...
They kind of expanded on it earlier. But anyway.
It gets fixed. Yeah, don't like Thor.
Alright, well, next up on my list is Ant-Man.
That low?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it the second time around.
Oh.
Darren Cross is a bit of a one-note villain.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit more of a dickish Obadiah Stane.
Marvel villain. Generic Marvel villain.
Everyone always does complain that, like, if you have a villain that has the same power set as the hero, it will never lead to an interesting fight.
No.
I disagree on some points, but here it's definitely the case. Paul Rudd's fantastic. Everything else about this is fantastic. I like it. But it's not the best for me. And just purely because of the villain. The villain lets it down a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, what's next on yours? What is it, 17?
17?
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Okay.
This film...
This hair is really annoying. There's a hair on your...
The reason it's so high is because I slightly enjoy it more than the rest of the films.
Right.
But not by much. Like, the opening scene's good.
Yeah.
Really
I'll give
good.
You that. The opening scene is...
It kind of opens up the world to the Infinity Stones.
I'd argue Avengers did, but okay.
Yeah, but even... Because it wasn't really... Like... Tesseract wasn't really confirmed.
I would argue I didn't need it.
It wasn't a...
the Tesseract was confirmed to be an Infinity Stone.
In that movie?
In, Dark World. When the Ether was.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. But it opens it up. It brings a new...
I don't know if it
Infinity
was
Stone
before.
into it.
Yeah.
That we didn't know it was there. It was hiding in, I guess, plain sight.
Yeah.
But,
it's very interesting to see them do that.
Yeah.
Because you can tell that Scepter was never supposed to be anything more than the Scepter.
Besides its mind control abilities, I guess.
Because they even said, what do they say? They say it's powered by the Scepter in Avengers, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the Scepter's powered by the Cube. They say, oh, we don't know what the Scepter is, but it's like we know it's powered by the Cube. What do you now? That's interesting, because it's not. Anyway. Yeah, no, but just looking at how good Trailer Ultron was.
Yeah, the trailers were really good.
And they said that they wanted to give him personality. I'm like, he had a lot of personality in Venice in that trailer.
He has a lot of personality in the movie. And all of it's lost. He has a lot of personality in the movie, but I think it's too much for Evil Robot.
I don't think he has a menacing moment in the movie.
No, he kind of
Maybe when he first comes out.
That is a good scene.
That's cool, but...
And then, later, he kind of gains I guess you can chalk it off to he's gaining the sense of humor of Tony Stark in a way.
I hate that explanation.
He's kind of quippy. It's bad, but if you can think about it like that, I guess it can make sense. But it just doesn't fit his character
then also
at all.
look at Jarvis. Jarvis is a bit of a smartass, but I wouldn't say he's got Tony's sense of humour.
No.
Nor does Vision.
But Ultron is a
nor
bit
does
more
Friday.
Ultron is a bit more of an advanced AI.
Yeah, but I would say Vision is too.
Vision is more of an
Vision is more advanced than Ultron.
Has Soul Stone.
Soul Stone.
Yeah. But
never refer to it as that again. And it's not the Soul Stone, it's the fucking Mind Stone, you dickhead.
Oh, Mind Stone. My bad.
The orange is the soul.
Yeah.
Which is funny. But, no, yeah. It's a bit of a letdown.
Still a bit of a bad
The Hulk
movie,
versus Hulkbuster fight is good.
Yeah.
There's some good shit in it, but the problem is it's
the
final battle is...
by...
I'd say the final battle makes a little more sense than the Chitauri battle. But then also, how do they kill all of the Ultron drones?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of drones. And they're like, alright, we've got to make sure one doesn't... Do they drop the thing? They explode it, don't they? And that's... I can't remember. It's a bit dodgy. They explode the island. They get everyone off of it and they explode it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Was it about to fall?
Yeah.
Okay. Dankeschön. Yeah, it's a bit meh, shall we say.
Bit meh, but I think it's better than
the other ones under it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to like about it, if I'm being honest. The party scene is good at the start. I'd say it goes downhill once Ultron's dealt with in the first bit.
Yeah.
It goes downhill from there
and
sort of doesn't take its time with anything and just sort of rushes.
No.
But I think that's why I like that party scene, because it takes time to just stop and chill off.
Yeah.
Before everything fucking happens at once. Nick Fury's here. Hawkeye has a family.
Nick Fury's been living in your shed.
He's been mowing the lawns. Might be a Skrull. We don't know. Yeah, so next up on my... is it mine? You said
Age of Ultron.
So my 17, is it?
Yeah.
Thor the Dark World.
Do we have to talk about this movie?
Easily my least favourite of the Thor movies.
Understandable.
But I still like it.
Mm.
Malekith is just a victim of
Marvel writing.
cuts. He had some more writing and some more depth in the script, but it just didn't translate to on screen, which was upsetting because Christopher Eccleston is fucking fantastic. We get a really entertaining final fight scene, I think, with all the portal jumping and
that is like actually
it makes for a good battle. Good. I think we get a genuinely good swerve with Loki. A lot of people say they saw that coming at the end. Well, first, when he turns evil, that's good. And then that cuts off Thor's hand. I'm like, holy shit! And then it's just a trick. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. Doesn't matter anyway, because Malekith still gets what he wants. And then Loki dying at the end. That actually got me, I'm not going to lie. It was like, oh, okay, he's dead. And then the final shot, So, I like Darcy in the first movie, but she's very irritating in this one. Especially with the introduction of the sidekick.
She's terrible. She's actually... I remember we were rewatching the film, and I was like, I can't stand this. And you're like, you leave Kat Dennings alone. I'm like, she's horrible.
She's good in the first one.
Like,
I like her in the first one.
She's so annoying in the second one.
In the second one, she is.
God damn.
Chris O'Dowd's in there for no fucking reason.
Yeah, he's there to just get shit on.
Yeah. Natalie Portman is clearly not giving a shit. I mean, not that she... I don't think she really gave a shit in the first one.
Of course it. But,
you know, they literally needed to promise to make her Thor just to get her back. But, yeah, look, I don't know. It's a misguided movie. It definitely probably could have been better than it was. But also there's an alternate scene where Malekith's actually the one that kills Frigga, and that's a lot better. I wish they would have went with that. But yeah, really good entertaining battle. Malekith, I feel, gets shit on a little more than he should. I think he's at least intimidating, which is more than can be said for Ultron.
Like, it's a big deal when he shows up.
Mandarin.
Like, oh, here we go, shit's going down.
He's at least got an intimidating look, which, again, is more than what can be said for most villains. So, when I see him towards the bottom, like, at the bottom of Marvel villain lists, I get a little upset, and I feel it's undeserved. Like, I think he is leaps and bounds better than Ronan. And they kind of achieved the same goal, except Ronan's much more of a retard. Like, you know, he had a fucking Power Stone and didn't use it properly. Like, you're just going to be distracted by this dancing buffoon and you could obliterate him. The Aether's a little bit different in terms of how it can be used offensively.
It's so bizarre how it's used.
It can't. I don't think the Reality Stone has really much offensive capability.
I don't think
it makes him stronger, but that's about it.
Offensive It's so bizarre how they used it in that film. It's just floating space goo that makes strong.
It's not a stone. It's a sludge. Someone said it was a stone before, and just want to correct you on that. Anyway,
I really think when they were making this film, and they probably thought this was going to be an Infinity Stone, that it was going to be the Power Stone. Because it feels very more Power Stone than Reality Stone.
Because the Power Stone's red in the comics, I think. Yeah, we looked this. I can't remember. I can never remember the stones. Anyway, but no, I don't think they really had a plan in terms of what stones.
But it feels more powering than Reality.
It does. But then it's like Guardians and this didn't come out that far apart.
No.
You'd think.
But we don't know how far apart the filming was.
I'd say they probably put the same amount of time and effort into it, so I imagine it wouldn't have been too far off.
Yeah.
The scripting process or just miscommunication or whatever.
It's just weird how they pull off the Reality Stone.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's next on your list? 16?
Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Now. I guess I could say I enjoy this film to a certain degree. Until Whiplash decides he wants his bird and walks onto the tracks and like, I'm gonna kill Tony Stark even though I don't know he's racing. And
well, I mean, they did show it on the TVs.
Yeah, but it's been very specific.
I want to know what his plan was.
Yeah, to like walk up to Tony and take off. Walk up to Tony and activate his whiplash and just kill him.
Tony going to be dickhead. Tony going to want to race his car.
I know you want to race.
I know he do this.
I'm very intelligible. But I think I do not like Whiplash. He's my least favourite Marvel villain.
Really?
Whiplash is my least favourite Marvel villain. Either Whiplash or the next movie on my list would probably have the worst villain.
Wow.
The weakest villain. Because I do not like... His fucking entire plot is just... I want to kill Tony Stark because he stole my father's plans.
To be fair, that's about as much...
And he's just...
He didn't just steal his father's plans. He got his father deported.
Yeah, but probably because he's a fucking immigrant. But...
No, it's because he... No, I'm not cutting it. We don't edit this.
We don't edit. We don't do that here.
I'm going to edit at the start, but...
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
We
don't have the resources.
Yeah, but... He's just a dumb villain with a dumb-ish motive.
I don't know. I feel it makes sense.
He kind of just sits around...
It makes more sense than Obadiah's.
He just kind of sits around in a cell for most of the film, wanting his bird. And then he doesn't want his bird. And
no, he doesn't. He never doesn't want his bird.
He gets a new bird, and he doesn't like the bird, but then he just accepts it anyway.
What would you?
Bird. He made a fuss about how he wanted his bird, and he didn't get it, and he just fucking, this is my bird now. And then he's like, I'm going to build big armor to fight Tony Stark in. Oh no, I'm dead.
They're all better.
I blow myself up now. Instead of, just like surviving this, and then going off and then building another better armor, instead I'm just going to blow myself up.
The original battle made more sense. The original fight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
but
it
I
for
don't
that.
like what.
Next up for me is Incredible Hulk.
That high.
Yeah. It's a good movie, just with bad casting, which is really weird for an MCU movie.
General Ross is the only good
General Ross is the only good casting, and ironically enough, he's the only one to have returned from this movie. I think I'm right in saying that. Fun fact, you know the pizza dude that Bruce Banner stays with?
Yes.
That is the voice. That's the guy who voiced Spider-Man in the 60s cartoon.
Oh.
That is the voice of 60s Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, Edward Norton's shit. There's some really good character stuff in this movie, but it's just overshadowed because Edward Norton can't act for fuck. I want to see this movie remade with Mark Ruffalo, which would be interesting because, you know, we're not getting a Hulk film anytime soon. Abomination could have made for a good villain, except for the fact that Tim Roth can't act, which I'm noticing a trend here. But, you know, he has a good, like, sort of thing. He's this sort of aging colonel, well, not aging, he's like, I think he's 38, but they try to make a thing of, like, being in the military, you know, it takes a toll, makes your body wear down, you know. So he's sort of like, this thing is like, you know, if I can take what I know now, put it in the body that I had, like, 10 years ago, it'd be fucking unstoppable, except for that he gets stopped. But also intriguing is he's one of the only MCU villains to not die.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's really superhero movies in general, more often than not, kill off their villains.
They just die for no reason.
Yeah, they just
well, they don't stick around. Defeated.
Yeah, and yet we still haven't seen him show up again.
Good.
I like this interpretation of Abomination. The reptile one never really made much sense to me. The more reptile-looking one, this one feels a lot more in keeping with the origin in this universe. I don't like the look of Hulk because it looks nothing like.
He's just
say what you will about Eric Banner Hulk. At least he looks like Eric Banner. Like this looks nothing like Edward Norton, which I know the director said is what he was going for. I'm like, well, why? You get a rather implausible yet fun chase sequence at the start where they're chasing Bruce Banner through the city. You get some cool parkour sort of things. It's a good city to film a chase sequence in. Yeah. But also implausible because of the fact of if Bruce was actually being chased, he would have turned into the Hulk about 10 minutes before he actually did. And he only turns into the Hulk because the really super racist bully people start kicking him and calling him gringo. So,
I mean, yeah.
You know, not the fact that he got chased like 20 city blocks and had to jump from rooftop to rooftop, but tries to bone fucking Liv Tyler and can't do it. Yeah, no, it's a fine movie. It's sort of just middle of the road fine, where the casting, I think, lets it down more so than anything. The scene at the school is really cool. That rhymed. You know, with them sort of chasing Bruce and then getting him in that walkway thing and putting the smoke things. It's cool. It's a good scene. Some good scenes in this, but bad casting. Bad casting. What's next up for you?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said about Bland Molly's favourite villains? Mysterio.
I'd say Mysterio is... Who did you have earlier? Whiplash? Oh, Whiplash is better than Mysterio.
I don't like either of them. Mysterio,
I like Mysterio.
I was so hyped for Quentin. Because, like, Mysterio is, like, my second favourite Spider-Man villain.
Really? That high?
And I like Mysterio. He's not cool, but, you know.
But that's what makes him cool.
He does illusions.
Illusions and shit.
He's the master of,
magnetism.
Mind manipulation. Yeah, you wouldn't understand that. You haven't seen Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Oh, fuck off.
But, yes. He is the most disappointing villain, I think.
I feel like anyone who knows anything about Mysterio would know that Mysterio was going to be the
I
bad
knew he
guy.
was going to be the bad
And everyone
guy.
knew. Anyone who knew anything about... Fun fact, Billie Eilish's Bad Guy is written simply for Mysterio. Like, that song is about Mysterio. Because he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
I want to fucking kill myself with that joke. Trust me. Can you tell I listen to Billie Eilish? I don't. That's a joke because I want to die. But I feel like the whole multiverse thing was a way to make that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he was a villain on his Earth, and he just pulled this shit so many times, and everyone's like, dude, we know you're a fucking villain. And then he's like, oh, fuck.
I'll just go over to this universe.
And then the universe breach opens up, and he's like, oh, well, I'll head over there and spin some bullshit, and done and dusted. But the fact that he needs to have, like, a big 5-minute montage of him going, remember this from 10 movies ago?
Remember when Jeff Bridges yelled at this guy for not building the reactor with a box of scraps in a cave?
Like, it's just like, remember this, and technically, what did Tony Stark ever do to that guy?
Yeah, that was Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. Like, Tony Stark did nothing
Bridges
to that
is like,
man.
you can't do this, and he's like, I don't.
Also, why did they kill Aunt May in the snap? I feel like that was a bit bullshit.
Yeah.
They had, because you basically killed off everyone who was in a Spider-Man movie has been killed off in the snap. No one missed him except Tony. Like, nobody missed him. I feel this was a perfect chance to age Aunt May up a bit. They could have had her getting close with Happy. Then, boom.
Happy is probably the
Peter's back.
Happy's probably the best thing about this film.
The best thing is the Mysterio trip out sequence.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene's fucking weird with the scrolls. That's fucking weird.
It's just so, like...
I feel so sorry for Brody, because he got spoiled, and the one thing he got spoiled for was that scene, the post-credit scene.
Oh, really?
Mid-credit, sorry. So imagine going in, knowing J. Jonah Jameson's going to be at the end.
Oh.
That Mysterio died and framed Spider-Man. So...
To be fair, I knew Mysterio was, not Mysterio, I knew J.K. Simmons was in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit weird how they did it, though.
It's interesting.
It's weird.
It's interesting.
It's weird. They took a new take on it. They didn't want to have classic J.
Hey, we got J. Jonah Jameson. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
but
interesting.
he doesn't have the hair.
Yeah,
weird, well. But it's J.K. Simmons.
I'll take it.
Like, we've asked for this for so long. Yeah. We finally have it.
I feel Mysterio, like, just sort of illusionary-wise, that was done fairly well. Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job, but the story was just trash. I felt like the multiverse thing would have been really good. He was
so underwhelming. His plan was so fucking stupid.
It was pretty convoluted.
It was so stupid.
Because he needs a big Avengers-level threat. So why would
It's literally Syndrome from Incredibles.
It is.
He's Syndrome from Incredibles.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Apparently, if you look throughout the movie, you can actually see drones reflected in windows and shit.
Oh.
Apparently. Have you also seen that Quentin Beck's actually there in when the Hydro Man shows up? He's actually sort of on the ground. You actually see him walk past Peter Parker and sort of look at Peter in the background.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, here's the worst thing. Their entire plan revolves around getting these glasses off Peter. So they know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Right? So this has to be public knowledge. Or So how does Quentin Beck get this information?
No one knows. No, it's
Quentin Beck has to get the information from somebody that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Glasses.
And that Peter Parker will receive these glasses, then needs to go to Prague, where they're going. Well, first, has to find out that there's a school trip planned, and that Peter Parker will be on that school trip. And then he has to go there at the exact time that it's fucking convoluted and bullshit.
It's a mess.
It's really nonsensical.
Such a letdown.
Yeah.
And there's not much Spider-Man stuff going on.
It's a lot of Peter Parker stuff, and none of it's really interesting.
It's a lot of...
The stuff with Ned and Betty got old really quickly. And I'm like, they're just going to break up at the end. And then, sure enough, it happened.
It's going to play off as a shit.
It was so formulaic that I'm like, there is no reason this movie needs to be 2.5 hours?
I don't...
It was long. I know that. I'm like, no, this is too long. Too long. Yeah, like, it was just... a letdown. The convoluted plot just made no sense. Literally when they sat there and went like, oh, I invented this technology and Tony called it BARF. I'm like, what? Why? Okay, whatever. But, yeah, no, it was really bad. Anyway, anything else you want to say on that?
No.
I hope Mysterio's not dead. I want to see him done right. I want to see more trippy shit, because that was the best sequence of the movie.
How's he going to get more drones?
Huh?
How's he going to get more... This is going to be Guy.
Well, here's the thing. Who's to say Edith is still under Peter's control? Because remember, Peter had to sign over. And that's another thing. Why would Edith be allowed to be given over to Quentin Beck? Like, you'd think Tony Stark would have some failsafe built in there so to not allow that. So, hey, Quentin Beck, this guy used to work for me. He's an asshole. No. Like, Tony Stark is smarter than this. It's stupid. But, yeah, so, like, technically speaking, those glasses are still under... Edith is still under Quentin Beck's control. Because Peter had to sign them over to him. But Quentin didn't do it the same.
Yeah, no.
So I don't think he's dead.
No.
And like someone did, I saw that someone did bring up a good point of Peter never actually asks if Quentin's dead. He just asks, "Is this real?" And she goes, "There are no more illusions." But that's just from her end with all the the Edith drones. But there are still about 500 or something like that drones that are under Beck's control and could still very well be having that. Anyway, moving on. Next up for me is Guardians of the Galaxy.
That low?
Yeah, Ronan lets it down a great deal from just being shit.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of the humour has set in, but I feel a lot of it is just sort of grinding. Excuse me. The plot doesn't feel as well developed as it could, which again we got to juggle 5 characters. Luckily, one only says "I am Groot."
So it's kind of easy.
And yeah, but they do a fair enough job developing the characters as much as they can.
And they kind of made no names a big deal. Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy were kind of just...
Yeah.
No one...
Absolutely.
Like, when the movie was announced, everyone's like...
That's why when I see everyone go like, "Oh, this movie's going to be bad," or because I don't know who they are. I'm like, no one knew who Guardians were. What's the deal?
Yeah.
But yeah, it did do a really good job of that. But I feel Ronan lets it down. I can't really put it any higher because of that.
Yeah.
Just because this is number, 15? 14? Whatever it is. Doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of good stuff in the MCU. So yeah, that'd be that for Guardians. What's next?
Number 14, Captain America, the First Avenger.
Really?
I don't know why I have it that low. But I guess from here and on up, I enjoy the films.
Yep.
Like, enjoy them. I can't, like, there's a few, like, little bits and pieces here and there. But generally, Captain America First Avenger, a really good film. They made Captain America a really relatable guy. Like, he's just like, I'm a skinny dude. I'm just a guy.
I'm skinny dude.
I'm just skinny white dude. And then he's like, I'm just gonna suck at being in the army.
Oh my god, your
And then
plot summaries.
And then they're like, hey, do you want to get injected with this cool stuff? It might kill you. And he's like...
They never say it's going to kill him, do they?
I mean, it might. There's a risk. And then they're like, let's do this. And he's like, I'm Butch now. And then now Peggy loves me because I have muscles. And then now I get to chase German guy. And then, like, the movie kicks off from there. And I actually... Hugo Weaving does an okay job with Red Skull.
Okay job.
Well, like, he didn't really want to be there.
Does he ever want to be anywhere?
I don't know.
How did they get him to do 3 Transformers movies? Put him in a sound booth?
Just put him in a sound booth.
No, fun fact,
they just
actually
took the
got him on
recordings.
set.
They took the recordings from his house.
Yeah, that's just
Like, they actually bugged his house. No, but like, yeah, he's a bit of a, like, Marvel villain.
He's a bit of a Marvel villain.
You know what I mean?
Only a
like,
bit.
Generic.
The rest of him is DC.
Generic.
He's a Nazi.
Generic evil guy.
He's a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's just, well, is he? Yeah, technically not. It's evolved Nazi.
Evolved Nazi. Yeah. He is skull Nazi.
I mean, Nazis are just like the sort of foundation that all villains are built on. So
yeah, true. And Red Skull, evil guy with Red Skull.
Technically, he's a hero because he killed 3 Nazis.
Yeah.
When you think about it, he killed 3 Nazi officers.
Yeah, but
it's pretty damn good.
He's also kind of working.
It's more than what Captain America did. When you think about it.
True, good
He
point.
just flew. He didn't throw a plane. Although I'm sure he could throw a plane into the water. He flew. Oh, he probably could. I'm not even talking about Captain America. I'm just talking about Chris Evans.
I enjoy the dynamic between Bucky and Cap. Is any man would?
It is really
the dynamic between Cap and Peggy is okay.
Yep. He's okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's really all I've got to say. I guess we'll talk more about it when you...
Yeah. Alright, next up for me is Spider-Man Homecoming. Really good. Really good movie. I don't know how I feel about Tony being as involved with Spider-Man.
He's not as involved as I thought he would be.
I don't know. I just feel that suit being as
advanced as
it is makes the moment where he presents him with the Iron Spider suit at the end meaningless. I'm like, well, what can that suit do that this one can't already?
Breathe in space.
Which is a surprisingly specific scenario that may or may not be coming in the future.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it, kid. But like, also, if like, yeah, I just don't feel like the suit needed its own AI for one. That was a bit
weird.
Like, Tony had how long to make this costume? A day tops.
To be fair, look at how quickly he can make Iron Man suits.
Yeah, but that's armor.
This
is a skin-tight costume.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean... I don't know, like... There's a lot of stuff to go into that suit.
It could be 3D printed like...
Yeah, but like, I mean...
The other suit was in Far From Home. That thing was 3D printed.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
In like an hour. Or less.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just don't like how advanced the suit was. And the fact that it had its own AI. I'm like, I don't know. It makes sense because Tony made it, but it's like, I would have preferred it to be a little less advanced. It's like, he can't just use this. I don't care. Vulture's a great fucking villain, but yeah, I can't really put it much higher.
Fair enough. You done?
Yep.
Next for me is Ant-Man. Generally, basically everything you said.
Ants! Yeah.
Ant-Man, it's a good film. They kind of made like a low budget, laughable superhero. Really good, really relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool.
It is just the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, but
to an extent,
friggin' Yellow Jacket is just. He's going crazy because of BIM particles. Woo!
Yeah, like, that was really weird.
Like, why isn't Hank Pym crazy?
He was, that's why he had to stop.
Yeah, but why isn't he even more crazy?
Because he stopped.
Like, yeah, but Yellow Jacket
it was really bad,
he
though.
wasn't working as long as Hank Pym was.
And not actually exposing himself.
Yeah.
That was a fucking weird... I'm glad you reminded me of that. I forgot about it. That is a really weird plot point, though. Because, like, did they kind of establish that he was always a bit of a dick, but it's like, then they were like, oh, they're driving you crazy, man. It's like, what? And it then means, like, he's now let his daughter and this other guy who has a family take up the mantle to one day potentially go future crazy. It's like, come on. It's a bit stupid. I want to know how much longer Hank was Ant-Man for after Janet died. That's what I want to know. But, like,
We'll never know.
I think this was Marvel's first attempt at de-aging? Right? I can't recall any time before.
Came before Civil War, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can never tell, but I think they did it with the first... It would help if I turn that on,
Very low.
I think they did it with the first... Yeah. With the first Thor movie, when Odin first shows up at the very beginning. I think they may have de-aged him. But he's wearing a helmet, it's hard to tell. I don't really know, so I could be wrong, but this is the first big attempt at de-aging, and it's good.
That's a good job. Looks
and
natural.
then they aged Peggy up.
Oh.
No, I'm not talking about in Winter Soldier, which was first. It's weird that they age someone up first before they de-age someone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Peggy's in that scene too.
Shit.
Yeah. At the start of Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, no, Ant-Man's pretty middle of the road. Yeah. So you're done?
Yeah.
Next up, and this one is probably going to be surprising, being this low for a lot of people. What number are we at? I don't have mine numbered. I just have mine on my list.
Well, it's jam 13.
My 13 is The Avengers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I said, it does a good job balancing a lot of heroes. 3 out of the 6 are given a lot to do. Bruce Banner is sort of just there more as sort of like an exposition, to give off exposition and sort of to be there as a plot point. More so than just he's there to be a character. Black Widow and Hawkeye don't get much to do. Hawkeye less so. Hawkeye gets basically nothing to do. And look, I get that the final battle is big scope, big scale, all of this, but it's really bad.
There's no threat.
It's not that there's no threat. It's just I hate how quickly it's resolved.
Well,
if they had explained, like if Loki had said at some point that the Chitauri are a hive mind, I would have accepted it. But there is no reason why closing the portal and blowing up a ship would kill all the Chitauri. That is explained in the movie.
They're not much of a threat, though. They're kind of easily dealt
They're just
with.
there to just get beat up, crashing into buildings, civilian casualties, which we don't actually see. There's a good few moments sprinkled in the final battle. But, by and large, it's just a bunch of noise. Earth is at stake, but, I feel as well it's just diminished over time, because of just bigger threats that keep coming.
Yeah.
But it is to be commended at the time. It did such a great job balancing the characters. It's been done better.
First time it was done.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely a success and definitely a good movie. There's just better movies. What's yours? You're 12?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Good film. I only seen it once.
No, you haven't.
Did I see
You
it
watched it
second
twice.
That's right.
Because you kept complaining about Luis. You fuckhead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fucking prick.
He's not as enjoyable in the second film.
Fuck you.
He's better in the first film.
Get fucked.
But yeah, it's more of the Ant-Man 2 is like more of the same. It's Ant-Man 1, just wacky adventures with ants.
There's actually surprisingly little
There's
amount of ants in
surprisingly
the second
no
one.
ants in the second. I think it's when they break.
They just sort of use the flying ants.
Yeah.
Ants to cover cameras and shit, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to say about Ant-Man?
Yeah, there's nothing really much to say. I enjoy the film, but there's just nothing really much to say about it. There's no real, like, villain.
Yeah.
It's like kind of... There's no villain to talk about. There's, like, no real character arcs to talk about, maybe besides Hanks. That's really about it.
Anyway, next on my list is Thor Ragnarok. Just, what are we, still 12? Number 12? Yeah.
Number 12.
Yeah. Missing out on the top 10. Hard decision, but... Also, I feel like not being a fan of the Thor films helps you enjoy this one more.
Yeah.
Whereas I at least enjoyed the first one. Obviously, I've got it higher than this, which a lot of people will disagree with.
Yeah.
But, and to an extent, I enjoy the second one. I will agree Thor is the worst trilogy in the MCU.
Fuck yeah. He's such a boring character.
No, not a character. I like him as a character. But trilogy-wise, just because all three films have different directors, they all feel very different in tone without much explanation. Like, the Captain America trilogy, the last two are very different tones to First Avenger.
Yeah.
But that's because the First Avenger is in the 40s. It feels very... You couldn't do the Civil War...
Feels very upbeat.
You couldn't do the last two, the Russo film tone.
No.
In the first movie. It wouldn't work. But this one is obviously very different tone to the first two Thors. Thor The Dark World felt like a sort of natural flowing point from Thor 1, just a little darker. But this one is just a
balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall, 80s popcorn flick, I guess.
Yeah.
People call it. The only real thing I have to say about this movie is that there's a lot of dark shit that happens, like some deep shit. Odin dies, half of Asgard die, three of the Warriors 3 die. Like, that's some deep shit, and it's sort of just... and also, Banner's development is just made off as a joke. Which I completely disagree with. I feel like there was some serious stuff to explore with Bruce Banner, who has just found out that he has lost 2 years of his life because he spent it as his alter ego. Or his split personality. Like, that's some fucked up shit. And he's sort of just fine afterwards. He's on an alien world, and he's it's just made for laughs.
Out, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
He does act a bit weird.
Yeah, but it's not
but
like...
I think that's Mark Ruffalo's
It's
acting.
not traumatized.
Like, Mark Ruffalo's acting feels
Look at
very
him.
off.
Look at that scene in Age of Ultron after he's been Hulk, and he's just sort of on the ground. He's traumatized. It's a traumatizing experience being Hulk for him. And so, if you had just found out you've lost 2 years of your life and you're on an alien planet spending time as your alter ego, you'd be fucked up. Like, that's just... Yeah, I don't like the Banner being played for laughing. Hela's a decent villain. It's a tiny bit one note, but I mean, they're the gods. The gods are all sort of one note, if I'm being honest. But yeah, overall, not a bad film, but I just enjoy the things above it more. What's your number 11?
the Avengers.
Mm.
I mean, pretty much everything you said I agreed with.
Yeah.
Pretty much talked about it.
Oh, Black Widow actually gets one of the best scenes of the movie when she goes and confronts Loki in the cell.
Yeah.
And Loki basically just gives away his entire plan because he thinks he's got Black Widow where... And then Black Widow just turns around and goes, thanks. I'm like, holy shit, that's actually
so
pretty
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good character moment. I hate that they've sort of retroactively gone back and said that Loki was being mind controlled throughout that whole movie.
Mind controlled?
Yeah. Thanos is mind controlling him because they don't want to go off of and saying Loki is straight up evil.
Who
said that? Marvel, I don't know. Probably Kevin Feige.
Kind of fucking stupid.
It is. It's fucking retarded.
How long ago did they retcon that?
I cannot remember. It's recently. It's post his death. I know that. I think they're building up for the Loki show.
Yeah.
Which I hope they're just going to ignore that and just go, yeah, he was straight up evil.
Yeah, it's semi.
Yeah.
More like, I'd say 70-30.
At that point in his life, he
70-30.
70-30. He took a guy's eye out.
Yeah.
He straight up murdered a dude by just...
Yeah.
That's
okay, they're 100-0, but...
Yeah.
Like, he kind of...
He was going to straight up kill that old man.
Gradually less evil. But
what if that old man...
tricky ways. You never know
what if that old man in Germany, just putting on a German accent, what if that's Captain America? Living through the timeline. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so that's it for you.
Yeah.
Number 11, missing out just in the top 10, Civil War.
Civil War.
Captain America Civil War. I had to put it here just because a lot of the characters don't get an explanation as to why they're on a team.
It's kind of just there for a big epic battle.
We will talk about it more when it pops up on your list, but I feel Zemo was a refreshing villain after a lot of the same types of villains. You know, just, I am evil. Oh, fuck, I'm defeated. He actually wins.
Yeah.
Is he the first MCU villain to kind of win? No, I'd say he wins. He tore the Avengers apart, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did they reform?
Not really.
Not really. Kind of towards Endgame, but that was just one big battle. It's not like they ever reformed in a proper way. But, yeah, so... I'd say he wins. He's one of the only... Obviously, Thanos won, but was undone. But, yeah, as far as Thanos' life was concerned, he won. He accomplished what he needed. But... Yeah, Zemo, like, that's what I love when he's being taken away at the end and they're like, you lost. He's like, did I? You know, I love it. Sure, he doesn't be put into a costume or gets a fight scene, but...
Why are you put into a costume? Is that a stupid purple
outfit? What's the purple thing?
Purple
Cobra Commander. With the fur collar. But yeah, no, it was a really good film. For the most part, it balanced its characters well. I disagree with the people that say it's just Avengers 2.5. It's definitely a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cap and Tony are the most developed characters in the thing. And they get some really good stuff to do. The final fight is really good.
Really
one of the best ones.
Good.
Considering it's just three guys just sparring on. It's like...
And you can constantly see throughout the fight, Iron Man isn't like beating up.
He's just deflecting Cap.
He is trying.
He's trying to kill him.
He's trying to kill.
Which is
the Winter Soldier throughout the. He's trying to kill Bucky throughout the. You rarely see that when they're like two people are going at it. They're kind of just fighting, and then they'll get like something to like try and kill each other, and then they'll deflect it, and then they'll beat each other up a bit more. In this, Iron Man is out to kill Bucky.
Yeah.
He is trying his damnedest to kill the son of a bitch.
It's so good. And then you just see him just sort of swatting away at Cap. Like, it's not the concern.
He's not trying to kill Cap.
It's so well
choreographed. Just trying to kill him.
People who don't like the Russo brothers.
Fuck you!
Like, at least their filmmaking style, like, holy shit. Like, come on, that is gorgeous. Anyway, so yeah, well, your number 10 into the top 10.
Top 10, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yep.
Pretty much everything you said.
Yeah.
I enjoy Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's good. They do a good job of just
He's
having
great.
a grounded Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just showing him as Peter Parker.
And he doesn't he's
and,
not
a natural Peter Parker.
He's not too good. He constantly fucks up through this entire film. He's constantly trying to do things and just fucking up, but not fucking up too much to the point of where it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire. But
Yep.
Yeah, it's done
What's that?
very well.
Yeah.
Because he's just trying to do things like when he's trying to web, and he just realizes he can't because he's on the golf course, so he just has to run across the golf course.
Yeah,
I
I forgot about
in
that.
everyone's backyard and shit because he can't swing properly. It's really well done. Really well. I don't know what I did there.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
And Vulture's one of the first good Marvel villains.
Ego.
I said one of the first. But one of the first good Marvel
I mean,
villains.
I'd say it starts with Phase 3.
Start getting a lot
We'll
better.
talk about villains at the end, actually, because that could
Yeah,
be an intriguing conversation.
All right.
But yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely good, just grounded. Vulture was the right pick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the way they did it.
The way they executed.
Rather than being old
really
angry
good.
man in Vulture onesie.
Yeah.
He is actually...
Oh, he's a poor adaptation from the comics, but it's one done well.
Yeah, he actually has depth, and you can relate to him even though he's
That twist,
trying to be...
though, I'm like, whoa, fucking hell, when he opens the door.
Yeah, when he opens the door... It's just...
I'm very confused, though, because her name is Liz Allen. Does she have a mother's
I guess.
maiden name?
I guess.
Because his name is set up to be Adrian Toomes. They say that, I'm pretty sure. They don't say it's Adrian Allen or anything like that.
No, he is Adrian
Yeah,
Toomes.
it's weird. Anyway, so cracking into my top 10 is Thor.
Thor. I don't want to talk about the film anymore.
I had to kind of think, I'm like, do I like Thor? Do I give it to Civil War? What's the go? I feel like Loki's a bit too much of a villain. You know? I feel that, him letting in the Frost Giants was a bit too much to start off with. I feel that, if he had just went, oh, well, Thor's banished, I'm just going to make the best of a worst opportunity, and then sort of got a bit power hungry. I felt like that would have been better. But to actually let the Frost Giants in and have this big plan, I feel was a bit... I don't know. But that's about it. I think this movie is just... It's a really good journey for Thor, which I think had to be told. Obviously, you had to have him show up on Earth in the first movie.
Yeah.
So, he just doesn't show up, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? So, I feel like they did a really good job of that. Having it, Thor go to Earth and actually have a good progression of coming to appreciate things.
His powers.
Yeah, and then getting them at the end. I felt it was a really nice moment. And I just think it's a really, really well-directed film. Looks beautiful. Probably the best Asgard looks.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Kenneth Branagh just did a good job of directing this one. What's next on yours? Number 9.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Okay.
This film.
Yeah.
What can I say that hasn't already been said? This film
We haven't
did
seen
This film did a really good job
It's interesting
of
that I have
having
it higher than you.
2 plot twists. One for the casual fans that wouldn't know that Bucky is the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
For the stupid ones, they're like, oh, it's the Winter Soldier.
The stupid one.
Oh, amazing. And then the other one for the more hardcore fans, that Hydra is S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's the real kick. It's really cool.
It is.
Because it's got the whole Captain America with the Winter Soldier thing, but it's got that weird, like, what's going on here with the shield? It's a bit funky. And it's revealed that it's Hydra's been in, shield this whole fucking time. And it's like a big thing. And I'm like, oh, shit.
The plot summaries. I'm loving it. Anyway, number 9 on mine is Iron Man. Iron Man. I had to struggle where to put it. But in retrospect, I always thought Jeff Bridges, Obadiah Stane, was one of the better Marvel villains. But sort of looking back at it, why does he want to kill Tony again?
No reason.
Like, does he just want the company? Why did he not get the company to begin with?
They needed a villain.
Like, you'd think he'd have the company to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like, they would just give it to Tony straight up. Like, I don't know.
Obadiah, not Tony.
Yeah. Like, I just feel Obadiah probably would have had it first, but okay. Oh, sorry. But no, as setting up Iron Man, and obviously this was the first one. Like, we talked about Guardians and how no one knew Guardians.
Iron Man wasn't
Iron Man was a C-list. None of them were.
Yeah.
Hulk was the most well-known, probably, out of everyone. Most people knew Hulk. And Iron Man, not really many people. Captain America, sure, maybe, probably, I'd say Cap, probably a little bit more than, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Iron Man, like...
Iron Man was just... No one had heard of him.
No.
He was not... And then, boom.
Yeah.
John Favreau hit it out the fucking park.
Like, if this didn't succeed, we wouldn't be here talking about this shit today. This wouldn't be here.
No.
The MCU wouldn't exist.
No.
If this didn't succeed. And luckily it did. Yeah. And it's still a film that holds up today. It's really fucking...
it's not
and it's strange to think that the movie didn't really have much of a script and a lot of dialogue. And it shows. And I feel, sadly, they kind of lose that a little bit in the second one.
A lot of it's natural. It just feels natural rather than them reading off a script, because they're not reading off a script.
I feel like Tony and Pepper have a lot more chemistry in this film than they ever do in anything else.
Because it's not written.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's natural. Like,
which is natural because they don't get together.
Between Gwyneth Paltrow and fucking Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. What's your number 8?
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Doctor Strange. Honestly, they took another relatively unknown dude and turned him into a really interesting character.
Yeah.
With his own, like, he's very arrogant.
Yes.
Like, very fucking arrogant.
Like Tony.
They kind of turn it into... He goes through this whole arc of being an arrogant prick to kind of being more of a less arrogant prick, but kind of more chill.
You're trying to cast a spell now. Anyway.
Trying to sling my fuck out of this situation. But yeah. But Caecilius, Marvel villain. Not really much. And Dormammu is giant floating head. Wish they would have done a little bit more with him. But I guess they would have been juggling too much with him and Caecilius. I guess. So just leave it at that. But I guess we'll talk more about it when you get to that.
Yeah.
What is your number 8, sir?
Winter Soldier.
Winter
A
Soldier.
little higher than you. I'm surprised. I never liked this movie. Yeah. 2, isn't it not? Oh no, 1? Okay. Still a little higher. But I never liked this movie to start with. I didn't actually end up watching it in the cinema, which was a shame, because I would have rather saw Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 2. But Which sucked, because by the time I got around to watching this, I already knew Nick Fury was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. Because they'd announced that. So, sadly, I didn't get that, oh my god, Nick Fury's dead. And I'm like, well, okay, when's he coming back? I don't like Black Widow in the movie. She's very different to what she is in Avengers and stuff, which you could just chalk up to the fact that she hasn't got much development. But even from Iron Man 2. But yeah, I didn't like her characterization. She came off as just bitchy and sassy. Like, that's about it. Like, that's it. That's all she does in that movie.
Yeah.
And then there's fucking... I'm blanking on the name. No, what? What? No, I don't know what I was going to talk about just now. No, yeah, the reveal of Hydra was pretty good. A little weird that they tried to go back and say that the Senator dude from Iron Man 2 was Hydra all along.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, the stuff with Bucky was done really well.
Yeah.
Some really cool action.
Oh,
things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good film. What's next on yours?
Good film. Number 7 is Iron Man.
Yes.
Kicked it all off. John Favreau, good job. Jeff Bridges, not very good job. Not very good villain.
Does a good acting job. But
good acting job.
He's a good villain, but he's not as good as I remember.
Yeah. But they took a relatively unknown. And the pacing in this movie is really good too. It's not slow, but it's not too fast.
Yeah.
It's quite good. Also, Rhodey in this film, not very good.
No,
doesn't have much.
Talk about Rhodey.
Doesn't have much to do.
He's really bad.
To be fair, Don Cheadle doesn't have much to do, but Don Cheadle's better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, number 7. Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. That's significantly higher.
Significantly higher.
Mine was 16.
Probably the one we differ on one of the ones we differ on the most. Probably.
Oh, maybe.
So, yeah. Iron Man 2. I don't know why people don't like this one. Whiplash is good. Okay?
I would say he's good.
He's really good.
I would say he's really
He has motivation.
Yeah, but you have motivation to go to the fridge to get chocolate milk. Is that good motivation?
Yeah?
Kind of.
It's chalky milk.
Yeah, but...
Get fucked.
Get what I mean?
Anyway, no, I think it made sense, the plot. Again, the only real complaint I would have... A lot of people say it's just set up for the Avengers. I wouldn't say so. Nick Fury shows up and Black Widow show up. No. That's about it.
No.
No more than Hawkeye showing up in Thor. I really like just the concept of the Palladium poisoning him. I think he's really cool. So he goes a bit wild. Mental. I really like the Rhodey versus Tony scene. It's a really fun action sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even to an extent, the Whiplash Tony fight at the start is really good. And then the last fight scene is a bit of a letdown. Which I wish that they would have just stuck with the original one, which probably wouldn't have been as action-packed, but would have served a better story purpose. If you don't know, just look up the alternate Whiplash scene on YouTube. I'm sure it's on there. But yeah, no, I really love this movie. I don't know why, I just do.
Just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Anyway, what's next on your list?
Next to me, number 6. Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. I love how it's number 6, and you're calling it Thor Ragnarok.
Call me Kevin.
What?
YouTuber.
Okay.
But, Thor Ragnarok. enjoyable film. I never liked Thor because they're floating down at the bottom.
Obviously, Korg's the best character.
Like,
we just have to say that straight off the bat.
They're floating down the bottom of my list. Like Thor: The Dark World's number 20 and Thor's 18.
Boo.
And I don't really like Thor that much. So this kind of made Thor better of a character. His solo films were very weak. And it kind of reimagined the character in a whole new way that no one ever thought would probably work for the character at all. But it's he kind of comes off as a big buffoon through the entire film, but it still has, I think, good emotional scenes, like when he finally gets his power, I guess, back, awakens his power again. Yeah. And he kicks everyone's butt. It's kind of cool.
The final fight's really good.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, I don't know how to feel about the Immigrant Song being used twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bit...
But both are really fucking good.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I feel at that point it becomes... Being used in the trailer and being twice in the movie is a bit of a gimmick, I think, at that point.
But just the way this movie was filmed...
It's like the Avengers theme, it only shows up once.
Taika Waititi did a great job.
Directing, playing Korg,
It's got so much colour and personality to this film.
I think to a point where it can become a bit much.
I just enjoy it.
To a point.
It's not rewatchable. Like you can't rewatch it 6 times and be and enjoy it the same every time. But I enjoy this film.
Yeah. It does lose a bit something because it is a bit more flash over substance.
Yeah.
It's when you see it, you're like, oh, this is pretty.
Yeah.
But that's sort of its time. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Number 6?
Yep.
Yeah. Which is something that has that we were talking about, but I think backs it up with a bunch of substance and makes it more watchable. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Which I fucking love this movie. I hate it when time's reversed. In anything, you know this. I hate time reversing.
Superman.
It's cheap and nasty. But holy fucking shit, does this movie do a great job of that. The final fight was so fucking good. I actually like Caecilius. I think he has a lot of motivation. Probably could have been developed a little more. But I feel his development comes from the fact that they're concealing what's going on. So it gives the impression that he has a lack of development because they're keeping why his... You get that sense when he first shows up, when the Ancient One does, and he goes, hypocrite. He calls her a hypocrite. So you sort of have that sort of in there. I just love Mads Mikkelsen. He's fucking great. And I think Caecilius is actually a fairly well-developed character. You know, he is sick of the hypocrisy of the Ancient One, who forbids from using the Dark Dimension, and yet she herself uses it. It's really good. The cast is spot fucking on. Sometimes I do forget it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's weird.
Yeah. He just completely... Who's calling you? Who is that? You want me to pause it? Do you want to answer it?
No.
You probably should.
I think I recognize the number.
Oh, fucking hell. This is typical. Answer your fucking phone, you douche. What's the number? Does your phone not have the option to click on it? I'm not editing this out, by the way. No.
This is really awkward.
I'm going to pause it until you're done. Until you're right there. And we're back. We never solved the mystery of who it was. It went to message bank. What the fuck were we talking about?
Doctor Strange?
Yeah. Good film.
Good film.
Yeah. Really good movie. Good development. The only downside I can really say is the sense of time is a bit fucked in the movie. They aren't really clear about how much time passes.
Goes by.
Plus the fact that the after credit scene is just a scene from the next movie. It's
Thor Ragnarok, isn't it? Yeah. Which
came out a year later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of those.
When
they're we don't know what to do. Just do this. All right. What's your number 5?
Number 5, top 5.
Top 5.
What do you think it'll be?
I don't fucking know. Let me think. What have we got left? Hold on. I'm going to look at my list and see. This will be interesting. Alright. You haven't said Civil War yet, have you?
No.
Have you?
No.
Is it Civil War?
No.
Fuck.
Remember I did say I was a bit washy-washy between 5 and 4.
Guardians 2?
Guardians 1.
Oh, Guardians 1.
Guardians
okay.
1 is number 5.
I forgot you hadn't said Guardians 1 yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I love this film.
I love this film.
Ronan's,
I love refrigerators.
Ronan's a bit shit, but...
A bit.
A lot shit.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy this film. Like, Guardians, no one knew who the fuck they were, and now they've turned them into household names. And, like, just... They're so enjoyable, funny, great films with such simple plots.
Yeah.
Like, the plot is literally, I have Power Stone. Oh, no, I lost Power Stone. Oh, no, I still have Power Stone. Oh, no, I'm being arrested. And then now Power Stone taken away. And then Ronan come fight, take Power Stone. I now have Power Stone. We go kill Ronan because he's going to kill everyone with Power Stone.
Just on a side note with Ronan, do you think he was in Endgame?
Probably.
I feel like he should have been.
Mm.
Like, with Thanos and his troops. Because he technically was a soldier of Thanos. And if you look closely, Ronan's soldiers are there. The weird turtle-looking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They're there.
Mm.
But no Ronan. Maybe he wasn't.
Yeah, but it's
anyway,
just,
I thought I'd want to bring that up now, just in case I
yeah.
forgot to bring it up.
Yeah, but it's a very simple plot, and it's quite enjoyable to watch and easy to follow.
It is.
What about you? Top 5?
What do you think it is?
Guardians 2.
No.
No.
This is going to be interesting.
Captain America.
No.
Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yep. Ant-Man and the Wasp. When I finished watching this movie, as many of you will probably remember from my last MCU ranking video, me and my mate Travis, we got out of the theatre, walked to the bus stop, where I said, gosh, I could see that again. He's like, you want to? And we went back and watched it again. Literally, we went to the thing, just another ticket for Ant-Man and the Wasp, please. And the guy just went, didn't you just come out? And we're like, yep. Want to see it again. And fucking hell was it. I don't know why, but this movie had me so excited, like, when I was watching it. Like, I don't know why. Like, I was just really hoping shit wouldn't go wrong for these characters. Like, I don't want it. I don't know why. Okay? I just don't know why I was invested as I was, but I'm holy fucking shit. Shit's real, man. And, like, I think it just... The problem with the first one as well is you can totally tell what parts were Edgar Wright and what points were Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
It felt very incomplete of a movie. This one felt so complete. Like, the humor was spot on. It was consistent all the way through. Didn't feel forced at any point. It felt really natural to this universe that's set up. Then we'll see the post-credit scene, which I called, like, long before.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant fucking movie. I don't really have many complaints about it. The dialogue can get a little exposition-y at times, but you don't notice it because it's so much fun. So, yeah, I don't know why I love this movie as much as I do. I wish I could explain it. I just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same for me in Guardians 1, actually.
Next up for you, I want to say you probably got Civil War.
Yeah. Civil War. Mm.
Yeah.
You know me, Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War, it's pretty high for me because I really enjoy this film.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it brought in Spider-Man.
Did.
In my opinion, Baron Zemo's a bit of a weak villain, but...
Then again, I would argue that Iron Man's the villain.
Does a good job. I'm on Team Iron Man. I'm on Team Iron Man.
Yeah, but Iron Man's the villain. Like, whether you can be on one team you want. Let's look at Captain America, right?
Yeah.
So he has on his team Bucky, who's only there because Cap's protecting him.
Yeah.
Falcon, because Falcon chooses to be with him.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? Scarlet Witch, because she's been forced away from Tony and all of that stuff, so she aligns with him. Hawkeye doesn't make much sense to be there. That is a bit dickish, that I don't know if Hawkeye elected to be there. And Ant-Man, who gets abducted by Falcon. Iron Man essentially kidnaps and lies to a teenage boy, recruits his best friend. Black Widow's a bit of a... I don't know.
She wants to be there because it's the right thing to do.
Black Panther's only there to kill Bucky.
Yeah.
Vision's only there because he was created by Tony.
I feel like it's a bit too much of a plot convenience for them to...
Who's the other one that I'm forgetting? Team Iron Man. Whiplash, Vision, not Whiplash, War Machine, Iron Man, War Machine, Spider-Man, Iron Man, War Machine, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Vision, and did I say Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them all then. Like, there's sort of a lot of manipulation on
it's a bit
side. He tears the Avengers apart because of his own selfish, because he gets called out directly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, like, Captain America is so selfless. And, you know, Tony is very driven by his own self-interests. Haha! We'll just leave that off. Yeah, like, the teams are a bit, like, just more association-based than anything.
It's a bit too much plot convenience that they all come together to fight this one airport. It's a bit too much like... They needed an excuse for everyone to be in this one place.
It made sense that they were all at the airport.
Yeah, but
because they got word where they were
needed to write them into that so they can have big epic battle. That's probably my only major complaint about it. It feels a bit too much like they wrote like the whole like Tony being a dick, trying to keep Wanda inside, and shit like that.
No, I think
to try and so they can get everyone all into one place for a big fight. But other than that, I think it's rather enjoyable.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, what do you think's next on mine?
What are we up to? 4. Oh, it's Guardians 2.
Yeah, it's Guardians 2. So, yeah, Guardians 2 is fucking fantastic. It takes everything good about the first one and just makes it better.
Yeah.
Ego is fucking terrific, even if it is predictable that he'll be the villain in the end. Because it gets to about, the second or third act, and the only one with...
Well, considering this is my number 3... We can just talk about this movie together.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my number 3. Yeah, but I think Ego is a really, like...
You can tell he's his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really good.
There's some off, like, the first time you see him and stuff. Like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
But you just can't figure it out. And then, it's
you just want it to be true.
And it's done really well, and the humor's just ramped up to like 10.
Yeah,
everyone goes through like really good character arc. Like Rocket's a big dick, and Yondu's like, "Yo, you're a dick. Stop being a dick."
Yeah,
and then it's like, "Oh, awesome!" And then Yondu dies, big rip, and
that I did not see coming.
No.
Like, that was like, holy fuck.
And honestly, the action scene at the end's pretty good. When they're all like fighting each other and they're using all the powers.
Some say it goes on a bit too long, which I can definitely see, but...
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it. There's enough to keep me entertained, but it does go on a tad long compared to most third battle. I think it takes up most of the third act, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. Well, my number 3...
Captain America.
Yep, Captain America, the First Avenger.
That high.
I love it.
You do.
I love just the tone. It's so much so that when Tony gave Steve the shield in Endgame, and sort of just played that little Captain America theme from this movie. I was like, yes! And everyone just looked at me weirdly.
Yeah.
No, anything about this movie, I don't know what it is about it, but the tone just is so good. Fucking Tommy Lee Jones just giving no shits.
Oh, yeah, Tommy Lee
It's
Jones.
fucking great. He's still skinny. Red Skull is a really good villain, I feel. Sure, a bit generic, but I don't know, I love it. I love the little war montage. A lot of people said that they should have expanded more on that montage sequence and actually shown some of the stuff. Sure, yeah, but I don't know. I felt it was really good.
It kept the pace going.
It kept the pace going.
Rather than slowing it down.
If it was done today, I feel like they would have expanded on that. But no, I think the relationships that he builds up with, obviously, Bucky, and how that doesn't change when he becomes Captain America. Like, it's great. With Peggy, with the professor guy. What's his name? Erskine. It's so good. It's such a good fucking movie. That costume is fucking gorgeous, by the way. I'm all about superhero costumes, and Captain America has some of the best ones. But, yeah, that's my number. And I have a feeling our number 2s and our number 1s are in the identical spots. I'm guessing Infinity War is number 2.
Yeah.
What can you say about Infinity War? Like,
I'd
argue Infinity War was a better movie with less issues.
That's because look at what Endgame had to do.
Yeah. The only issues I have with Infinity War are Bruce Banner. He's written very poorly. So much so that you probably can't tell he's
written very poorly, and I don't know what it is with Mark Ruffalo's acting in this film.
He's directed probably very poorly.
So weird the way
it is, isn't it?
He's like,
I don't know if
really looks like he doesn't want to be there.
I don't know who directed him.
Looks like he's baked most of the time. He's like, what?
Because I know Taika Waititi came in to do the Thor scenes, and I know James Gunn came in to do the Guardian scenes.
Stuff. Yeah.
But did Taika also do Bruce's scenes? I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was really junky. It was really weird. It took me out of it whenever he was on screen. I'm like, who? But other than that, fucking perfect movie.
The build
Red
up.
Skull showing up.
The Red Skull was kind of cool.
That was fucking great.
But the build up to this film, like Thanos kind of been there, and it took him he's like, fine, I'll do it myself, and it took him about 4 years to do it himself.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he would have only just found out where the Soul Stone was. He'd been planning. So let's see, in 2014. Okay, so 2014, right? We'll get the gauntlet for reference. Okay, so 2014. He knows where the the Power Stone is. They locate the Power Stone.
Yeah.
Right? So they locate it to Morag, but Quill gets there first. It's then locked in a base on Xandar.
Yeah.
Space Stone on Asgard. No real hope of getting that. Asgard is then destroyed, making it a fuck ton easy to get that stone.
Which
so he then starts with this one, which we know he gets that one a week before he goes after this one. This one, with the Collector, he knows this. It's fine. Doesn't give a shit. And he knows these two are on Earth. No one has any fucking clue where that one is.
Yeah, no. Except for Gamora.
Until Gamora told Nebula, and then Nebula went to kill Thanos after Guardians 2. At some point, we don't know when.
Yeah.
And then he was able to capture her, get into her memory file, and find out that she knew where that was. So then, that's when he was like, you know what, yeah, okay, now it's time. But until he knew where all this stuff... It was probably after Asgard was destroyed when he's like, okay, cool, let's go.
Peter Dinklage is on fucking...
Neverdalir, or whatever. Neverdalir.
For like fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
Just chilling there for 4 years.
3 years.
Think about it.
Oh, we don't really know when Thanos goes, fine, I'll do it myself. Like, we don't really know when that is. It was tacked on at the Age of Ultron, but why would it be in Age of Ultron?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why would it be tacked on at the end of that movie? I feel like that would have made more sense tacked at the end of Guardians.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
But, oh well. It had to have at least been post Thor.
Yeah.
Because the Bifrost was destroyed and stuff, so they couldn't check on it. But anyway, yeah, no, Infinity War is just so fucking good. You can't really say much about it.
So much hype building up around that film. Just
I was watching it.
Thanos
and I'm like,
is a compelling villain.
He is.
Like in this film, not so much in Endgame, but in this film, he is quite relatable, which is weird to say about it, but you get why he's doing it.
Yeah, he's misguided as fuck.
He's misguided as fuck, but you get why he's doing it. You're like, okay, I can understand why he wants to do something like this. And
everyone's all like, oh, well, why didn't A, B, or C character do this to Thanos to get the gauntlet off? And I'm like, Doctor Strange knew what would happen and what would the best outcome would be.
Exactly. So he literally saw everything that would happen. But one thing what was weird about... someone asked, why didn't Doctor Strange cut off Thanos' arm? And the Russo brothers replied with not what I was expecting.
Well, I haven't actually seen this.
They replied with that his skin would have been too tough for the portal to cut. Which I think is a bit bullshit.
Makes sense.
What I think would have been more appropriate is he used the Space Stone.
I feel it would have made sense.
To cut the portal off.
Yeah, I feel that would make sense.
Because,
okay, so let's see. We have established that Caecilius is at least powerful enough to reverse the effects of a time stone. Right? Because remember in Doctor Strange, he uses the time stone and then uses the time stone to sort of phase everyone in. So phase Wong and...
You said Caecilius. Did you mean Doctor Strange?
No. He phases Wong and Mordo in, so they're not being reversed.
Oh, yeah.
Caecilius is then able to, as he's being reversed, sort of just shimmy in, and him and his followers are now there.
Yeah.
So Thanos at that point had 4 stones, compared to Doctor Strange's 1. And plus the magic. So, yeah. Doctor Strange tries to open portal. Fuck off. Basically.
Exactly.
Could have done whatever. Didn't even need to be the Space Stone.
Yeah.
Power Stone, shatter the portal.
Reality Stone, make the portal non-existent.
Yeah. Push the portal back onto Strange. Cut his own arm off. There we go. But yeah, no, like, so I just feel like they covered their own ass by doing that. Like, I think I read one. I can't remember if it was official or not. But apparently if they had succeeded in getting the gauntlet off Thanos, he would have just murdered them all.
Yeah.
Like, right there and then, in a split instant, he would have just killed them all.
Because we'll talk about it more in Endgame, I guess. But one thing people confuse that in Infinity War is, and in Endgame is, how can he break Captain America's shield so easily?
I mean, for fuck's sake, come on.
He's like kicks her ass throughout in Endgame. He kicks her ass pretty easily. And they're like, why does he so much stronger in Endgame? And you got to think.
Well, who says he is?
Well, he's so much stronger.
Who says
so? You can just tell how he's fighting and just how he can take everyone on.
He's a more skilled fighter.
He can take everyone on so easily. But the reason I think he appears to be stronger is because he actually wants to fight. In Infinity War, he doesn't want to fight. He just wants to get the stones. He doesn't really want to kill anyone. He just wants the stones, but he will do whatever he needs. In Endgame...
Well, do we want to just talk about both of them at the same time?
It's easier to talk about both of them at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
Number one, obviously, Endgame.
Yeah, duh.
But he wants to fight.
Yeah.
In Endgame because he's found out that he's succeeded and they've just reversed his plan, so he's pretty fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm gonna kill you. I don't care about getting the stones. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna use the stones to create a better world. Fuck yourself.
Yeah. I love that. I love the evolution of that. I got fucking chills.
Because it's like, I'm gonna learn.
This is great.
You're never gonna learn. You're always gonna be around.
Have you heard the explanation of why Cap could grab the gauntlet?
Because Thanos wasn't using his full power.
Yeah, and he was actually kind of impressed. It's like, look at this guy.
That's why I was like...
Fucking bang!
A lot of will.
Will. Yeah, so, yeah, obviously Endgame is number 1.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
Getting issues out of the way.
Yeah.
Firstly, I don't have a problem with that all-female team-up from a all-female team-up point of view. I have it from a logistics point of view. Why the fuck would all of the women be in the same vicinity?
It's good in Infinity War. I enjoy that scene in Infinity War.
Yeah,
When it
that
showed
makes
up in
sense.
Infinity War, I'm like, that's cool. That's a good job. Step in the right direction. It's not too in the face, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's good. Good on you. And then in Endgame, it's just like where every single fucking stop what they were doing. They're like, we need to go empower women.
Captain Marvel needs backup.
We need to go empower women.
Yeah.
Like,
Captain Marvel needs backup, apparently. After just flying through a fucking ship. She can't... Anyway.
It's a bit too left field. It's just thrown out there in your face. So...
And apart from the fact that the time travel is a bit wishy-washy, we'll forget about that.
Time travel's always going to be messy.
It will. I don't like the scene where Nebula runs off toward Black Widow and
doesn't leave.
It's all like, hey, they're coming, and then just sort of looks up as the ship takes her. Why not just teleport away? Like, forget about them. They're all Vormir. They're safe. They're fine.
I just wish she would have gone to teleport, and then...
I wish she would have been still paralyzed on the floor in the thing. But there's been explained because of deleted scenes. There was supposed to be a scene where Hawkeye and Black Widow fought a bunch of minions on Vormir before going up the cliff.
Oh.
So they would have actually made it to Vormir, and they would have had a fight scene, apparently.
Oh.
So that explains that. But still, it's fucking dumb. So, yeah. But, so, why is this higher than Infinity War? Purely just because of the emotional state this movie has left me in.
I think also because...
The lasting impact.
It was so worrying that what Infinity War did...
I had been such a Doctor Who fan.
After Endgame, Infinity War wouldn't be as good.
Look, after watching Doctor Who for so long...
That's generally what happens.
Being so used to the first part being so good and then being let down in the sequel,
second part, and it lets down what happens in the first part. Or the second part's really good, but like what it does in it lets down the first one.
I was very satisfied with how this movie
didn't happen.
You
can still watch Infinity War. It doesn't end. It doesn't like remove any of the impact that happens.
Everything that still happens. The impact. They live for 5 years. And I love seeing everyone that's sort of the polar opposites of what they were.
I just love when they kill Thanos, they're like, yes, we've got this, we're going to do this, we're going to get everyone back, we're doing it, and it's instantly thrown away.
I sat there and I was like, okay, what I think's going to happen, this is how this will go down.
It literally...
And then they're like, oh, we're going to go off to get Thanos. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to go off. They're going to, try. Thanos is going to kill probably one or two of them, and then they'll have to go back and just retreat for 5 years before they come up with another plan, and then just...
They destroy Thanos in seconds. And I'm just like...
Poor farmer Thanos.
What is going on? It subverted expectations so fucking much.
That's how you do it well. Cough, Last Jedi, cough.
I'm not going into that.
Yeah, no, this is a Marvel.
Later.
Yeah. Star Wars rankings for Rise of Skywalker. Stay tuned.
That's a good idea.
Well, duh. Do it anyway. Anyway, yeah, it's just the emotional payoff. Firstly, Tony's sacrifice. Fucking got me good. So weird to think that I Am Iron Man line nearly wasn't in the movie. That was the last thing they did. Mm-hmm. That was the last thing they did. Captain America's payoff was...
so satisfying. His arc was...
Plus, watching Tony Stark go from being probably the most selfish character in the MCU
to doing
him
what he
ultimately giving his life
Yeah.
And then Captain America, who has been nothing but a selfless character, always goes the sort of selfish route and gives him a life to enjoy. And that's so fucking beautiful. And I was sitting there wondering, who are they going to give the fucking shield to? Who's going to get it? And Falcon gets it, and it's great.
I wish Bucky got it, though.
No, I think it made more sense for Falcon. Especially when Falcon sort of looks back at Bucky, and Bucky's like, go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I knew something was up straight away when probably one of the best line in the fucking movie for me anyway is before Steve goes to take the stones back. He says, "Don't do anything stupid till I get back." It's making me tear up now just fucking thinking about it. But when he said that, and then when obviously Bucky goes, "How can I have taken all the stupid with you?" I'm in tears just fucking thinking about that
line. Such a throwback.
That's the thing is, like, I was watching Easter egg videos, because usually there's probably some I missed. I picked up on every single fucking Easter egg.
Yeah?
I lost my shit when that classic Ant-Man helmet was on the desk.
Oh, yeah,
the comic one.
Yeah,
I'm like, ah! So I saw this 4 times.
Yeah, I only still saw it once.
I saw Infinity War 4 times, but that was stretched out over a decent time. Endgame, watched the first day, was like, ah! Then went and saw it the second day, again. Then watched it the third day, and then the 4th time was a little bit after. Interesting. I cried all the time. All 4 times I cried. Not going to lie. But the 4th time was actually more emotional than the second 2. So with the second 2, I sort of kept it there throughout the whole movie, and then would sort of start to cry around the proof that Tony Stark has a heart thing.
Oof.
But the 4th time I watched it, I was actually tearing up at the Black Widow Hawkeye
didn't tear up much at that.
I didn't either the first time round, but I think it was because
you were just like,
I was too like
kill Hawkeye.
I didn't want Hawkeye to die. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want Hawkeye to die. Black Widow was probably the better option. I think that made sense. Everyone's journey that they go on is so sad. And people don't like Hulk in this movie. They feel it was a little shit. I enjoyed it. Professor Hulk, I think, was the right thing. A lot of people don't like that he didn't get his revenge on Thanos. But, I mean, he was the one that brought everyone back.
Yeah.
So, I think he got the ultimate revenge on Thanos by undoing what he did. And who's to say we could still see Savage Hulk at some point down the line. They could do something. But, no, I like the Professor Hulk thing. And then, yeah, just having Thanos at the end just be full villain. That was so good. And the ultimate, I love the end. The ending he gets.
He just sits. He doesn't like whinge. He doesn't complain. He doesn't like, I'll get you.
And that's the thing. It's like when he looks and he's confronted with his own death, like he sees himself dying, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't go, oh, I'll fucking get them.
Yeah.
Or they'll pay for killing me.
He just sits down.
He's just like,
looks down.
That's destiny fulfilled.
I'm defeated.
If he needs to die, he needs to die. He doesn't care. His work is done and he doesn't care if he lives or dies. It's as simple as that. It's so fucking good. He's such a complex and layered villain. I don't care. I don't think that there's a better movie villain. Not just superhero movies. Movies in general. I don't think there's a better, more layered, complex villain that has been so greatly written. He is menacing as fuck in that scene when he's just like, fuck you all. Then when he breaks the shield, and the moment that has... I don't think there'll be a more exciting moment in history. Just on your left.
Oh, well, Cap Mjolnir.
Well, Cap and Mjolnir, for a start. Holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. That got me good.
Everyone erupted.
Everyone did. Everyone
was incredible. Like, we're just watching, like, it's tense, the hammer flies past. It's the Force Awakens moment.
Yeah.
Cap grabs it.
I was waiting for Thor to grab it.
Screamed.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. And then, That's when I sort of just tears of joy were just flowing, and I'm like,
And then on your left.
And then on your left,
and then the
more
portals
tears
opening, everyone coming out. I scream Drax out as he shows up.
I kind of wish our theatre would be like all the other ones. Have you seen there are ones where all the Black Panther characters walk through? Everyone's just like, and everyone's just yelling it out in this theatre. It's fucking great. It's actually pretty funny. But yeah, just that scene of everyone just walking through and the song playing and it's building up and dun dun dun. It's so fucking. And then
Avengers assemble. It took like how many years for that to be
hinted at it in
Age of Ultron
so
at the end of it.
For 4 years.
Well,
but it's been obviously Avengers Assemble is the biggest, like the big thing from the comics.
Yeah,
so and people had been waiting for it for ages.
And it's
so much payoff.
It was just, and the music kicks.
I should just call this
running.
I should just call this a big 2-hour build up for just gushing about Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
But this was a movie that could not have been any less than 3 hours.
No.
I don't think there was a minute wasted. I don't look at this movie and think, oh, they probably could have trimmed that down a bit.
Yeah, no.
Everything that was in here
had to be there.
I was hoping for a little more, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, the pacing wasn't bad.
And
like you sat down, it felt like a normal
Here's
film.
the thing is, as you know, I get so uncomfortable in movie theatres. I'm always wriggling around, I'm slouching down in the seat. Sometimes I have to go like this, and then I have to wait for everyone to leave because my pants have slipped down a bit. And I don't want to get up and give everyone the full moon. So I have to very quickly fix my pants as I'm standing up. But this was the quickest 3 hours, like, ever. I just sat still the entire movie, just watching it.
It's the opening, though, like, with Hawkeye's parents. We were like...
His parents.
Why did I say
his
kids?
Parents and his wife.
His kids and his wife.
I knew...
It was just...
I knew what was coming,
wow.
but
no,
I
just
didn't
it
think...
opening up on... I knew what was coming, but it opening up on that was just, whoa.
How weird was it, though, that I said to you... when we were watching, because we watched the MCU movies before seeing Endgame, obviously, we watched them all. I can't remember what movie I said to you. I think it was Infinity War. But as the Marvel logo was coming up, I said, man, how fucking funny would it be if...
No, it was Homecoming?
Homecoming, whatever. When the new intro was introduced, we were watching it, and I'm like, how funny would it be if they had this intro for Endgame, and all the snap characters
were
are removed.
And
then it started...
And it was...
And Joel and I just look at each other like... Joel's like, did you know? I'm like, no! That was... that actually made me laugh. That was probably one of the only predictions I got right.
Yeah, nothing else.
I kind of...
Like, who knew Thanos would die twice?
I had half things, like, that I sort of thought about. I'm like, alright, this could be this may be that. And they sort of half happened. Because I wanted Iron Man to go off with Guardians.
No one knew what the fuck was going to happen.
No.
Watching the trailers, you're like, you kind of, you don't know. You fucking, everything's just...
Yeah.
And then you watch it, and it all just comes together in one beautiful moment.
Yeah, but all the payoff, the end credits are fucking beautiful.
Oh, even though it doesn't have an after credit scene and has a Iron Man ding.
But the signature things, those credits are fucking beautiful. I sat through them every time, like just to see the signature things. But no, as that battle's building up, tears, fucking. And then Iron Man dying, I was a mess.
Great acting.
Captain America, he doesn't say a word.
He's just catatonic. He just doesn't. He looks like he doesn't know what's going on.
And then it fucked me up because when I watched it, I don't realise that when Tony and Pepper are talking about the time travel, he's like, I could just bin this. I could just throw it all away and just go to bed and. Yeah, that's it. And she goes,
can you ever rest?
But will you be able to rest? And I'm like, ah! And now I'm tearing up thinking about it. That's the effect that this fucking movie has. Just thinking about it and saying the words out loud have got me in fucking tears. Like, holy shit. Cap's ending every time makes me fucking cry. Like, The moment with Tony and his dad.
Oh.
And the moment with Steve and Peggy. And he's just sort of standing there like... Ugh. And even the moment where Hawkeye answers the phone when his wife calls. And he's just sort of like, he can't even get words out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my fucking God. One of the only other things I can say is I wish... Now, there was a deleted scene where after Tony snaps, he goes to the Soul Well, where Thanos went and sees an older version of Morgan, which we won't talk about because that's too depressing. And they cut it out because they didn't want to confuse the audience. They're like, we just all introduce Morgan. We
didn't want to confuse the audience.
No, they didn't want to introduce Morgan and then introduce another person playing Morgan. And they felt there'd be a disconnect.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But I think they should have taken that and given it to Hulk. And when he snaps, he sees Natasha.
Yeah.
Because they were just sort of lacking that something. Tony got the big funeral, Cat got the send-off.
Natasha.
They sort of just have that one scene of them all sitting around. Hulk yeets a bench.
He yeets a bench into the water.
And it's interesting because like he's just sort of just, you know, silently thinking and shit. And, you know, you had everyone sort of going on about it was annoying that Thor was just making a joke of it and going, well, can't we just get her back? It's like, of course, you'd naturally think that. Because that's what everyone thought about Gamora. Gamora's all like, you know, she'll be fine. They'll bring her back in the next movie. So it's like, yeah, no, they're just doing that for like, yeah. So I liked Fat Thor. Everyone said that Fat Thor.
Oh man.
Everyone just said that the emotional. I never cared for Frigga. I feel like she didn't get enough investment to really care about. But that scene was really good between them. A lot of people just say it was just for a joke, but like they didn't really.
Honestly,
I think the only two characters that really make jokes about his weight is Rhodey, who is a fucking smart ass, and Rocket, who's a dick.
Yeah, because like
they don't really play it. Thor is a joke. Like
it kind of plays off the ugly side of PTSD because he gets like he like really miserable about failing.
Man, when fucking the bit when like Hulk says Thanos and he's just like that is some real shit.
Yeah.
Like this movie just goes from being funny to fucking depressing to oh my fucking god, this
like,
is the greatest.
He's like so miserable that he failed.
Yeah.
Like he may have got the better of it and cut Thanos' head off, but it was too late.
He killed Thanos, but like he didn't get any closure.
And you can, and it just.
Yeah, like just everything with this movie is just holy fuck. Well, yeah, guys, that's the list. We've been going on for 2 hours,
like
17.
2 hours, that's like a full movie.
Now we're just gonna quickly run through the Phase 4 lineup. So in 2020, in May, we've got Black Widow. Given an excitement rating from 1 to 10, knowing that David Harbour's in it.
David Harbour boosts it up to about a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm at a.
It was about a
5.
About a 4 for me, but David
I'm at a
Harbour
5.
About a 6.
Then in fall 2020, we got the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Not gonna lie, I'm at like an 8. Knowing that Zemo's gonna be in it.
Maybe a 6.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for it. November, we've got Eternals. The movie.
About a 4.
4, yeah.
But,
I mean,
I don't know, it's a surprise.
Yeah. Then in 2021, in February, we got Shang-Chi, I think is how it's pronounced. Legends of the Ten Rings. So we'll be meeting the actual Mandarin there. So, I don't know, I'm at about a 4, 5.
Yeah, about a 4 or 5
yeah.
for me.
Alright, in spring, we've got WandaVision, 0.
Minus.
After now knowing that this is going to be post-Endgame.
Why is it even a fucking...
mad.
Why is it even a...
I am so
I don't want to
annoyed.
see Vision in a sweater.
Wanda got so many good moments. It's that moment in Endgame when she just wrecks Thanos.
I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know who you are. You will. Ah! I'm like,
and then now
fuck Captain Marvel. I don't give a shit.
Now we have to see
Scarlet Witch.
Now we have to see Vision in a sweater and jeans.
I don't know, like, why? They've just undone
the emotional impact of Infinity War.
I hope it's in a different dimension. Then I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
Because apparently
how are they going to bring back Vision?
The WandaVision series is apparently going to tie directly into the next movie coming out, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is apparently going to be a horror-ish movie, which Scarlet Witch will be in. So, but I'm excited for this one. A weird title. Really long.
Definitely, I'd say about a 7.
Probably.
Because that could introduce the X-Men and stuff.
We'll see. Apparently this is what annoys me. When Kevin Feige was talking about the things that he said that there was not enough time to talk about Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, or Mutants. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. Is political correctness going to get rid of the X-Men name? Because he called them mutants twice. So it's not just his... Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to get political here, more so than we did with Captain Marvel, but anyway. Spring, Loki, which takes place after he gets the Tesseract. And he's going to be in that
doing
timeline.
it because he's popular.
Yeah, absolutely. So 0 for me too.
Only for the teenage fucking girls who want to suck Tom Hiddleston's
Whoa! Dick. Okay, in summer we got What If, which I can't wait for. Animated series. It's going to be interesting. All the cast are still voicing their characters though, so the characters will still be voiced by whoever they were played by. So I'm looking forward to that. 10.
5 or 6. I don't know.
In fall, we got the Hawkeye series, which he'll be training up the next Hawkeye, which I'm going to presume is his daughter. I presume it'll be his daughter. Will be the version of Kate Bishop we'll be getting. But I'd say I'm about a 7.
5 or 6.
Because it's Hawkeye and I can always see Jeremy Renner and more things. Then Thor Love and Thunder, which will... have Jane Foster Thor, which I'm not looking forward to.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't see it? They brought it out at Comic-Con. Natalie Portman's in the movie. And she holds up the hammer. They give her the hammer, and she holds it up.
Fuck yourself, Kevin Feige.
Whoa! Calm down. Yeah, no.
He's not going to watch this.
Next minute.
It's probably your only viewer.
Kevin Feige is going to just be bad at you now. And obviously they bought out a new Blade. And
who plays Blade now?
I can't remember his name. He's got a very sort of Mahershala something. I'm not going to pronounce it. But he plays Prowler in Spider-Verse. He voices him. And his facial. He's already been in the MCU, interesting enough, in Luke Cage. But I don't know if those series are canon anymore.
Who's he in Luke Cage?
He's the villain.
About maybe
one
a
of them.
6.
Yeah, we'll see what a new Blade looks like. It's interesting that... Because I remember a while ago there were talks that apparently Marvel and Wesley Snipes were talking.
I don't know why. Maybe Wesley Snipes didn't want to do it.
Or maybe Marvel didn't just want Wesley Snipes, because apparently he's a bit of a weirdo.
He is a bit of a dick.
Was it the third one that he refused to talk to anyone unless they called him Blade?
Yeah.
Man, what a weirdo. Maybe we'll do Marvel villains at another time, even though we've just gushed over Thanos. Because remember, guys, we were all children of Thanos, because Thanos is daddy. That's about what the internet's going on about, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't believe people like that. They're so weird. Anyway, yeah. So let us know your list in the comments below and disagree with ours, because no doubt it will happen.
That's what it's all about.
It's
our opinions. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to.
Arseholes? Oh, fuck. That's not the right one. Opinions are like arseholes.
Arsehole!
Arseholes! That's going to be my signing off thing. Arseholes! Just click the button. No. Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one, and yours stinks. Yeah, so that's the Marvel ranking. 2 hours, 24 minutes to talk about 23, technically 43 movies. Not 43, 46. Technically, because we had to go through each one twice. Pretty much. So, good discussion. Not bad, not bad.
Not bad, good size.
Good size.
2 seconds in.
I'm probably not even going to be able to, like, I can't be fucked editing to take the end with the gauntlet falling on your head, so that's just going to start the thing. I don't care. Oh, I'm just going to leave it in. I might edit just so everyone's all like, what? I mean, it's a Marvel video. It makes sense to have a post-credits scene, but I don't have credits, so it'll just be like Incredible Hulk. Anyway, guys, let us know your list down in the comments. I guess the next one we can do is villains. Anyway, guys.
That's an interesting enough thing.
Not really. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I don't know what the next video will be. Let me know. And we'll do it.
All of them
we just watched Stranger Things. So, all 3 seasons. So, maybe a video on that. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good shit. And I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.